Everyone, welcome back to the North American LCS. The summer split, like we said, all this week is coming to an end, but we have some more games, so you better stay tuned with us today. Right now, we're in the interview lounge. Rivington here with Crumbz of Team Dignitas. You guys picking up a much-needed win, securing that playoff spot, as well as really giving you guys some much-needed momentum. How's it feel?
We just played against a team that we had a 3-0 record previously, Velocity, and we came into a game knowing that they just wanted to have fun with it. I mean, we came in prepared to play our best, but clearly it was just a lighthearted game, and it was really uplifting to your mood. Just having to kind of cool off after every single grueling game, especially the one we had 2 days ago against Curse. It lasted over an hour. So I think it was a good change of pace that will hopefully allow us to perform better against CLG later today.
And talk to me a little bit about that, the grueling pace. Is it something that affected Dignitas throughout the season?
I think what happens to us is more so that perhaps our practice is a bit not as effective as you would see, because we are really good at identifying our mistakes, but then we somehow we get to fix it, and then we keep repeating it, even though we've issued what the problem is. So it's kind of, we have to remember to stick to what we have learned not to do and what to do, and just practice it over and over again so that we don't fall into the same mistakes again and again.
And maybe it's that right there, but what has been the most challenging thing for Dignitas this split? Whether it's games or things in the house?
I think that's the most challenging thing, is because we all even know our own mistakes half the time, but it's just about being able to put it into practice when the time comes to shine, which is LCS right here.
So obviously that game you said coming in was a bit of a pressure relief. Yeah. How did you expect to play against the 2.5-minute dragon that came out? For anybody that ever happens in a game, how do you kind of get back from that?
Well, we saw them missing from the lane, and we're like, wait a minute, where are they? Are they trying to take? Are they taking my buffs? Like, no, we saw them, and then our bot lane went to their blue, and they said, oh, we didn't force him to smite. So I thought, oh, Jarvan must have just taken the buff with the help of Zyra and Twitch, and then little did I know, Zyra comes out with blue. I was, oh, I guess they did dragon, and they got another dragon afterwards after a bot gank bottom. But those early dragons aren't that big a deal, because what happens is you get the dragons, you get the gold, you get the XP, but you don't get to shop with it. You don't really get to use that gold advantage to anybody in the lane. And when you come down to the lane, you actually miss some experience from just laning because you're off doing dragons. So doing it that early may not be as beneficial as it looks.
And how does it kind of change your role as a jungler? Because your objective focus becomes a little later. Does it give you freedom?
It's actually nice, because typically if you do a 2-minute dragon, it's going to come up at what, 8 minutes? That's like the average time you get a dragon. So you don't really have to keep track of it. Oh, it's up here right now. You just forget about it that it got taken before. And
as a jungler, obviously one that you call the human abacus, you keep the flashes, the timers for your team, try to keep everything in that bowl. How do you stay unpredictable? How do you make games work for your team?
Well, I wish I could tell you how that works, because we've been losing so much, but I mean, you really just want to do what you think is going to get something that will win you the game. And a lot of the times you fall into the mindset, you know what's easier? You're going to do your wolves. That's going to just be guaranteed gold for you. But having 3 wolf camps under your belt is not going to win you a game. So you really just have to snap out of that mentality when you jungle and keep forcing things that will actually make the enemy fear you, make them be like, oh, he's doing something right now. He's just not doing wolves. Because if you can see the enemy and you say, oh, he's doing wolves, to you that just means no pressure, relax for 30 seconds. He's just going to be somewhere useless.
All right, and final question for you, Crumbz, and thank you for the interview. What was Dignitas's preparation like for Super Week?
Well, we prepared for 2 weeks, just like every other team, and we had an excellent practice for the first week of the 2 weeks. And then out of nowhere, just the next week, it started going downhill. Like, our practices before were so incredible. I was so happy. Like, wow, are we really going to do this? Are we going to 5-0 Super Week? Perhaps. Could it be true? And then the second half of the week, it's like, oh, no. Our practices, what's going on? I just remember even my solo queue record was like 9 losses out of 10 games. Oof. It was terrible, yeah. Just a bad spree.
So it just goes to show you, even players feel the pain in solo queue, the pros.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right, Crumbz, thank you very much for the interview. Best of luck in the rest of the summer split. It's a short one for the rest of the teams, but best of luck in the games. All right, everyone, a few more games to go. It's going to be Kobe and Freak on the desk now. We have a long day. Stay tuned, because